Fair enough. Moving on to the NFC West. Um, you know, I think again the bottom two teams in this division are vying for top five, draft lottery slots. I mean, this is you're looking at the Rams and Cardinals at the bottom there. Stafford, we're just not really sure. Can he stay healthy for an entire season? He's dealt with a lot of, back issues, other injuries throughout his career. He also just doesn't have a lot of support around him. I mean, Cooper Cup, Tyler Higbee, like that's nice. Cam Akers could be interesting. Beyond that, you've got Ben Skowronek, Van Jefferson, Kyron Williams. It's like there's just not a lot to get excited about on the offensive side for them. On defense, they've lost a ton of their best players. I mean, Jalen Ramsey, Leonard Floyd are now gone. Aaron Donald is the only thing kind of being the linchpin to keeping them probably on the field itself. So I think that from a lot of rankings I've seen, they're a bottom three defense projected for this year. I mean, that's terrible. And with an aging offense as well, it's like I just don't think it's gonna be a lot of fun out in LA for any of the Rams fans. Cardinals, as we mentioned, I mean, they recently released Colt McCoy, somebody who could at least be competent in passing the ball to Marquise Brown and getting the ball to James Conner or you know really whoever else. I mean, they bring in Josh Dobbs and they have rookie Clayton Tune kind of vying for the starting job at this point. And I think guys like Rondell Moore are going to be wondering how their stats going to look at the end of the year if their quarterback's always on his back. So it's going to be pretty ugly, I think, in Arizona. I mean, very, very ugly, not only on the offensive side of the ball where they're being projected to be in the bottom four of the league, but they're also being projected as the worst defense and having the worst defensive line in the NFL. So needless to say, none of those teams are even going to sniff contention or 500 level play. I mean, it's gonna be bad. So it leaves me with San Francisco and Seattle, and I have them ranked in that order. I think San Francisco is incredibly deep on its defensive line. They bring over Javon Hargrave. They steal him from the rival Eagles this year. I mean, returning guys like Fred Warner. This is going to be a kind of a revenge type of year for them. I think they're going to come out extremely hungry. Brock Purdy gets another year in. Hopefully, his UCL injury is starting to repair itself. But even on the offensive side of the ball, I mean, you got to knock on wood that CMC stays healthy this year. They still they bring back Debo, Ayuk, George Kittle. They've got Elijah Mitchell at backup at running back. I mean, I just feel like this team, hopefully can just stay healthy all the way through, or can all get healthy around playoff time, because if they are, they're going to be one of the most dangerous, teams in the league. They recently traded even Trey Lance to, kind of shore up Sam Darnold as their backup. So I think that, Shanahan really sees something in Sam Darnold. I mean, something that I think a lot of folks have wanted to see, but I think maybe he can get the most out of him as a backup if Purdy happened to go down. So let's just say it doesn't happen. I see San Fran being kind of the cream there, and then Seattle. I think Seattle's a competitive team. Obviously Geno showed out last year. They bring over JSN to pair with their Lockett Metcalf pairing. They have obviously Ken Walker in the backfield. They get Zach Charbonnet to kind of back him up and kind of add more firepower out of the backfield. I think if they get a knock, the defense, at least from some of the grading I'm looking at, is kind of putting them top 20 at best. I think they have some young pieces that are super exciting, especially in the secondary. I think they've continued to load up there with Witherspoon, Woolen, and others, but we'll just have to see. I think that they're a playoff team. I think I've got them taking one of those wild card spots. So we'll get to that in a minute here. But that's my NFC West at the outset.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think, it's pretty clear what the Cardinals are doing. So don't need to or talk about them too much. Rams, yeah. It seems like they are trying to figure out, okay, maybe we'll try to give it a little bit of a run. If we don't see any momentum whatsoever, yeah, we'll just, kind of see if we can get a top draft pick there as well. see if we can find Matthew Stafford's replacement. We won the Super Bowl, great, but they got rid of Ramsey and Floyd, so I feel like they're kind of headed that way. And yeah, it really is going to be Seahawks, 49ers. I've seen some people pick the Seahawks, which honestly, like, they could possibly dethrone the 49ers. I wouldn't be completely surprised. But, again, if I were to bet, I'm going to pick the 49ers like 9 out of 10 times because they have the most talented roster out there. Yeah, even with Brock Purdy or, even some sort of medium type of quarterback, they still have the best roster. So I feel pretty good about them winning this division. Like you said, getting Hargraves, right? Or Javon Hargrave, I feel like that was an awesome move from them, stealing them from your competition. So, yeah, 100%. This NFC West, I feel like a lot of people are probably predicting 49ers, Seahawks, Rams, Cardinals here. And, yeah, it just makes total sense for me. So.